Welcome to Good Morning Football. One sleep away from a triple header. Our show presented by Intuit QuickBooks. It's a little bit of a crossover experience today. Good Morning Football weekends. Mike Garofolo, and Michael Robinson meeting Kyle Brandt and myself. We off to Tampa for this triple header today.
That's exactly right.
Do you ever hear what these two talk about before the show or during commercial breaks?
Sure, all the time, yeah.
We were just having a conversation earlier about whether or not ghosts exist and spirits, and they weren't talking about Sam Darnold, Kyle.
No.
They were really having the metaphysical conversation.
Mike's got takes, and I mean Mike Robb.
Yeah, we got to keep it, you know.
We got to keep it.
What do you mean?
Well,
all right.
somebody might be watching.
Yes.
Lead block!
Yes, turn the TV off.
Like Casper might be watching, or who's watching?
Hey.
The Niners are coming off a crushing last-second loss to the Falcons in Week 15. San Francisco missing a key piece of its defense, someone who we should be expecting back, of course, on Saturday night against the Rams in Santa Clara. And with more, let's send it over to Steve Weish.
Well, good morning, Kay. Sherm is back. That's right, Niners cornerback Richard Sherman not even appearing on the injured list a week after he missed a loss to the Atlanta Falcons with a significant hamstring injury. Now, head coach Kyle Shanahan said Sherman has been running well at practice all week, which he has participated in, and he is being welcomed back big time, not only for his pass coverage and not only for his run support, but in talking to teammates. They said having Sherman back will help out big time with the overall communication on the back end, getting guys lined up, showing recognition into certain types of personnel packages. That is something that has Mr. Sherman out. That is something they'll gain with Sherman back. On the other side of the ball, tight end George Kittle, he loves playing against the Rams. 3 of the last 4 games, he's gone for more than 100 yards, and the one he didn't, he went for 98. So I spoke to Kittle as to why he is so successful against Los Angeles. He said a lot of different reasons. He said, but mainly they play a lot of zone defenses, and he is a master at finding his spot in zone defenses. And as we all know, he's also a master with running after the catch. Back to you, Kay.
We love ourselves some George Kittle. We also love this tie. 4 teams with 11 wins sitting there at 11-3. Those Niners in the 5-seed spot right now. They can still earn, I know, right? They can still earn the #1 overall seed here's what has to happen. Ready? They have to beat the Rams and the Seahawks to close out the season, and poof, it's theirs.
What are the Cowboys doing in the left column? I see 7 and 7.
Because they're winning the division, Kyle.
But they're not even going to have a winning record.
It doesn't matter.
Are they winning the division?
Oh, you want to have that question? You want to have that conversation
Exactly.
about the seeding?
Sure.
Michael Robinson, yesterday you talked about the Niners defense needing to bounce back after that loss to the Falcons. Is the Niners defense the key to this victory?
Yeah, I really think so. You look at the first 10 weeks of the season, they had 35 sacks, 54 quarterback hits. Over the last 5 weeks, 17 sacks, 35 quarterback hits, okay? They haven't had the same effect on opposing quarterbacks as they've had in the recent weeks, or in the first part of the season. So I think they get back after it, especially playing the Los Angeles Rams. Their offensive line is not very good this year.
I'm looking at Robert Saleh to light a fire under these guys.
Do it.
Because you're right, these last couple of weeks. I think it's a little bit of Richard Sherman coming back to breathe that energy in there. And I think it's also Saleh. And now you've got, and this is not in his head, at least not in the forefront of his beautiful bald head. It's maybe somewhere in the back, though. This is his chance to make his final statement as a head coaching candidate here on a national stage. I thought he did a nice job in Baltimore, but that was a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. This is the one where every other owner around the league is going to be watching this game right here. So I think that's a motivating factor, even though it's probably not in his conscious. It's his subconscious. Mike Robb,
come on.
Let's not go,
Talk about it. Talk about the frontal cortex and all that. Talk about it.
I dropped the cortex on you.
Drive Kyle crazy.
I'm fascinated. Mike Robb's commercial talk is really compelling. It is. But I'm gonna look at these actual head coaches. You know, you see these old timers in the park playing speed chess, and they slap the clock, and they're going back. McVay and Shanahan. Let me tell you why. If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm going off the top rope, and I want to put McVay down. They can do that this season, because I feel like for the last few years, McVay has had this glorious ride, and he's the face of the league, and he's, you know, McVay was Shanahan's assistant. He was his coffee guy. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm going, you know, I was over here winning games with Nick Mullen and Brian Hoyer, and you're riding the Gurley Express and golf and all that. I'm the master now. There's some of that with the history of them. And if I think if the Niners beat up the Rams in this one, it's sort of like Shanahan planting his flag about hire all my assistants this offseason as best to anybody who knows Sean McVay. I'm the guy now. There's a superiority battle here.
This is Tommy and Billy Bats. I don't know if you heard. I don't shine shoes no more.
That's
Been away
right.
For a while. Yeah, I understand.
Richard Sherman, you guys
Like
spoke a lot
mirrors.
about that. He, of course, will add a spark. And if it's going to go like it went the first time they faced each other, defense will play huge. They totally stifled the Rams.
And
They only
Richard
allowed
Sherman,
7 points.
He has the pedigree, right? He's been to 2
Yeah.
Super Bowls, won one. I mean, he knows how to play during this time of the year.
48 net passing yards the first time they faced them.
Yeah, and we always keep thinking there was a
That's
2 or
like-
1 in front of it.
That's like Madden when you playing
That's-
somebody.
That's
that
the
don't know how
typo
to play.
game. Like, it's impossible, right? But it's happened.
There's another
For
huge
real.
matchup on Monday night.